That's right.
Where is
They
it?
released their jam cutter that works with their system. I did think that was pretty cool. I think I saw that
neat,
too.
where it's just like a spring. Oh, so it does it all on the bottom layer.
Yeah, so it's all smooth, or whatever texture your build plate is.
Well, you put
Yeah, it's
filament
like the
in,
Infinity One or something like that.
Yeah,
That's right. They
where is it?
released their jam cutter that works with their system. I did think that was pretty cool. I think I saw that
neat,
too.
where it's just like a spring that once it latches, it just automatically cuts the filament free.
Mm-hmm.
And that was lovely. And I think most printers should have that nowadays. Just having some form of, hey, the end of the spool has hit the thing and it might have gotten jammed. Boom.
Yes,
Gone.
Infinity Flow. DevMiner got it. Infinity Flow. Yeah. I think I think that's a cool system, especially for people that have machines that don't have MMUs, AMSs, whatever, where if you just put two spools of the same, when one runs out, the next one comes through. Awesome. But literally, as I'm experiencing on one of the +4s, and I will experience on these two that are behind me before this episode is over, when the filament runs out, there's that little thing in the tail that keeps it from unwinding on the spool. That gets stuck in the Bowden tube. The machine thinks it's clogged, and it pauses
have you not
itself.
seen it? No, Grant, you've not seen it. They've done one better. It's an add-on for their system.
Yes. Yeah. No, that cuts it and then goes to the other line.
Yes.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's lovely because it stops that problem of it got caught. And I think almost every printer should have that nowadays, especially if there's a filament run out sensor. Just having a thing went wrong. It's such a cheap upgrade. Like, this is the definition of cool. Though I do not know if it's open source. I cannot find anything on the design world other than what they've done to put it in chat, which is a shame because it would have been really nice to see it on other machines like Bamboo Labs.
I would like to see. I've got to reach out to them because I would like to get one, test it out, and try it. Time Traveler DMC says, oof, but it's $500 for a full kit with the enclosure. Yeah, it's not going to be cheap. It's designed for businesses that want to run more often, and maybe they don't have a Construct 2 with the lights out production unit that just does all this stuff for you. You have to add it on to a different machine. $500 for that to add on to a printer to now have 2 kilos accessible and will deal with all the little BS that you might run into. Worth it. Worth it every single day of the week, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Right? Time is my biggest issue. If I had an Infinity Flow on the Cheaties right now, I would have one machine that's still printing, and the two that are behind me that are printing right now will run out of filament before this podcast is over, and that would just switch to the next roll. I wouldn't have this issue. But I don't have that. And yes, I could use the Cheaty box and all that. I don't like the Cheaty box. I'm not going to use it. It's got a lot of problems. And so I think it would be great. And I think they've got a good market for themselves because no one else really plays with it. So I think that'd be kind of cool. I think it'd be cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be.
Deadminer says, seems relatively easy to design yourself. Ooh. Sure. But if somebody else already...
There's a difference between design yourself and take. And I don't like the idea that somebody has
the box
done
turtle
this.
Time Traveler was talking about was expensive. Yeah, box turtle's expensive. It is open source and it comes as a kit. So there you go.
You could make it for cheaper. The box turtle is not massively expensive.
No, you absolutely could make it cheaper. But the deal is you don't have to. You're paying for the convenience of not having to make it yourself. Right? So.
Yep.
I don't know.
Plus, it's a nice kit. It's nice to have that, just everything done for you. Time is money, and when you are sourcing every individual part, it just becomes a pain.
I agree.
Yep. I know the concept of it.
So
the reason I haven't done a HueForge yet is because I'm holding out, so my first HueForge is on a C2.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I do it on a Bamboo Lab because I have one right there. And that seems wrong in many ways. And I'm not going to do that.
This is an old HueForge that I did. It's not good. I was still learning, but this was a HueForge that I did, a photo that I took when we were in Paris. The thing is, it's rough, right? FlatForge, as the name might suspect, would be on the bottom. It'd be flat.
Oh, so it does it all on the bottom layer?
Yeah, so it's all smooth, or whatever texture your build plate is. And so, like, they had a chessboard, or a checkers board. Could have been either. That was all done with FlatForge. So it was granite colored, and it felt smooth.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
It was really, really neat. I said, you know what? That's awesome. I guess they're going to be releasing it as a one-time buy for HueForge. So it's an add-on to regular HueForge, but it's a one-time purchase. I think it's like $15 or something like that. Super affordable for what you're getting. And personally, I think flat forges are way better than regular HueForges, because then you can encapsulate the back and make it flat as well. So you can make panels. But here's where it gets even cooler, Jacob. You can do a HueForge on the bottom and on the top.
Didn't expect that. Not gonna lie. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It is really cool.
That's actually kind of cool. That's really, I've already just thought of so many plans I could do with that.
Picked up some of these lovely flyers for the Construct 2. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Look how pretty that flyer is. Look at those numbers, though. Look at those numbers. Check them out, construct-3d.com.
You do not know how hard it was to get those flyers made.
I remember.
That is a 5th iteration of that. No, this is after all of the edits were done.
Oh, really?
Just getting them printed. Because, so, for everyone who wants to know, I don't have a mirror. I have one monitor there. And there. And there. And there.
Jacob has 6 monitors.
I have 6 monitors. The main monitor is an OLED, color calibrated for cinematography work. This monitor is color calibrated IPS panel. And this monitor is a color calibrated VA panel. So when I do artwork, I can guarantee the color choice is specific for different media source like representations and how it's being made. I will always print on my surprisingly cheap photo grade printer. It's one of the 8 ink colored.
Say it's probably a Canon.
Inkjet. No, it's XP.
Oh, okay.
It's got
CMYK, W, black.
And then it's also got light magenta, dark magenta,
light gray, dark
3
gray.
more skin colors. Yep. It's got a load more inks to get perfect color calibration. I printed them, looked great. Fantastic. Sent them off to get printed. They came back almost jet black. They just like oversaturated everything. There's a weird green tint to everything. You can even kind of tell on that one you've got in front of you. There's just like a very slight green to the gray.
Yeah, there's a little bit, but it's not bad.
It was supposed to be a 2% blue to that grey because it's blue and yellow. Those were the color schemes that I wanted to keep throughout. Desaturated blue and yellow. Yeah, didn't work. So I ended up having to take 2 separate orders of 5,000 flyers, taking like 20 pictures from each batch, merging them all together to get an average color offset amount, correct the original file so it looks like ass on the PC, send it back to them send me another 5,000.
So what happened to the other 10,000?
They're just in boxes. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them.
Good fire starters.
They technically work.
Did you pay for them or no?
We got refunds every time. It was fine. It didn't smell weird, unlike the meatballs.
He's still here, I guess. We haven't gotten rid of him that quickly, but...
That is fine. And now my backlog of food is back to normal, just so I can go to China. And
we're all proud of you, Jacob.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's okay. I am excited. Some really nice food recently, and it hasn't killed me.